A better Memphis.
New legislation in Tennessee could turn the state's waste into a steady supply of raw materials for manufacturing. Bill sponsors hope that would reduce the amount of waste put into landfills across the state.
That's right. This week, a number of large companies, including IKEA, joined this coalition in support of this bill. Joining us now, also live from Nashville to talk about how this legislation could, quote, make a better Memphis and a better Tennessee, is Tennessee State Senator Heidi Campbell, who is sponsoring the, quote, Tennessee Waste to Jobs Act. And Senator, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So according to Tennessee's Division of Solid Waste Management, in 2021, Tennessee recycled approximately 5% of packaging materials without including flexible film packaging. How will this legislation improve that statistic?
Oh, it'll improve it immensely. So this is a funding mechanism for EPR is not a new thing. We didn't think of it. It's legislation that's passed in 5 states. We'd be the first red state to pass it. And this would bring hundreds of billions of dollars into our state for recycling infrastructure at no cost to taxpayers. And we are 48th in the country for recycling. So, and our landfills are at capacity. So we really need this. This would get about 900,000 tons per year of packaging out of our landfills. And it would also provide materials for a lot of companies in Tennessee who are asking us for those materials.
Senator Campbell, this will require the state to develop something called a 3-point recycling plan. What are those points?
So first would be a needs assessment. So the legislation itself creates a producer responsibility organization, which is basically these businesses monitoring themselves with the oversight of TDEC. And they would do a needs assessment, which actually the state is already way through doing. So we've already done some of that legwork. And then they would figure out how much they wanted to charge themselves for packaging. And they would do so. And then that money would go into creating recycling infrastructure that inevitably would incentivize them to reduce packaging. So it's kind of a self-imposed circulatory economic sustainability machine that works very well if it's not over regulatory or under regulatory. And I think we found the sweet spot for Tennessee, which is really to let business run it.
Okay. Well, the current economic value of waste in Tennessee is $409.5 million. What's your prediction on how passage of the Tennessee Waste to Jobs Action might improve on that?
Immensely, and moreover, would actually put us in a position to be the leader in the Southeast for material aggregation and distribution. And as you all know, we touch more states than any other state in the country. I think it's something like, we're just a couple hours from 75% of the population or something. So we're very, very perfectly, centrally located to be able to do that.
You know, I watched some of the videos on the website about this bill that promote the reason for it. And one of them talks about reclaiming the aluminum that Tennessee is currently throwing out. And we all know that President Trump wants to put tariffs on that Canadian aluminum where we import the vast majority of that product. So this bill could help be a real economic driver for the people who use the industries that use aluminum in our state, right?
Yeah, and I love that you bring that up because it's also a national security issue. We have companies here in Tennessee that develop planes and parts of weapons for defense manufacturing for our Department of Defense. And right now we're having to get aluminum. Most of the aluminum is coming from Canada. And moreover, they're actually required by law to bring in a certain amount of recyclable materials. So it's kind of crazy that we're doing that and paying that much money when we could actually be taking all of these cans we're throwing into landfills and letting these companies in Tennessee use it.
Well, unfortunately, we're out of time again, but thank you so much for joining us, Senator Campbell, and sharing information about Senate Bill 269.
Thanks for the opportunity. Love to do it. Have a great weekend.
You too. And that bill will be discussed during the Senate Government Operations Committee meeting on Wednesday.
That's a very interesting bill and